Thank you everyone for checking out this video. In this video, we're going to cover how to set up an AMI. And then after we set up the AMI, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a load balancer using the same EC2 instance that we used in the previous video. So we're going to do, first we're going to cover what is an AMI. Now AMI, think of an AMI as a image. Like for those who worked in regular infrastructure environments and those who used to have to, they worked as a PC technician or baseline technician where they probably sat there and when they image PCs using Pixie Boot and things like that, and those Pixie Boots are using images, stored images that was saved, that were saved and stored of, there was just a image of a existing machine, and you basically use that same image across the board on multiple PCs. Think that's the same thing that's being done when using an AMI. So pretty much you're pretty much making a clone of a machine and you're applying the same configurations and OS to another instance. Only thing that's going to happen is it's probably just going to change the name and the IP address is going to be different. All right, so let's go ahead and get that started. So we can go ahead and create. If you want to create an AMI, you go here. You just click check on the image. On the instance that you have. We're gonna go ahead and go to Actions, go to Image, go to Create Image. And please let me know if I'm confusing and things like that. Please let that know and let me know in the comments. If I'm being confusing and things of that nature, because I just want to make sure I'm being as clear as possible in these videos. So what I like doing this. I like doing AMI, then the instance name or instance ID, and always do call it backup, and always put today's date behind. It's just something that I always do in case I have to go back and if the AMI was corrupted, I know which AMI it was, because a lot of times they give Amazon gives its own image, its own gives its own ID, and we want to go by a unique name that we've given it. So other than that, I'm gonna give it a tag. And like I said, this is one out of all things, you would think that Amazon would try to have it so that these tags will get automatically populated with the name. So what I did was I used the key, called it name, and I gave it the same name that we gave the same name as our image name. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna create this image of our machine, and we want to see. You can basically click right here on the top here. I always click in a new tab. I don't always try to click it in the same tab. I go here and I wait for this image to complete before doing anything. Now, while this is going on, we're going to go ahead and we are going to set up our load balancer as well. All right, so we go to our load balancer. Once again, I click. Actually, you know what? We'll cover that part in a separate video, how to set up the load balancer. We're going to get our EC2s running, and then we're going to go ahead and do the load balancer in the next video. All right? Because I'm not trying to do too many things in one video, so I want to keep everything separate so people who are just want to know specifically how to set up an AMI, they know exactly how to do it. All right, so what I'm going to do, and right now it just kicked us out of our instance because we just had it run in the previous video. So reason why I kicked this out, because as it's creating these images, it try to cuts out service to everything. It cuts out service to everything. So it basically makes so that it basically prioritizes that creation of that image more than anything. So that's the reason why I kicked this out. But just continue on waiting. And what I'm going to do in the meantime, while this runs, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video, and I'll see you when it finishes. All right, so it just finished. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to restore our instance. Once it shows that it's available, that shows it's ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on this AMI, and we just to make sure that we have the correct one. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to Actions here. you could actually do it like go right here as well. Just you could actually go to actions and do it, but actually no, you have to go to right here and do it. Sorry about that. Losing my train of thought a bit. But yeah, you go right here to launch instance from image. And what we'll do, you now go to basically through the same screen like you would if you were setting up an EC2 instance. So in this case, once again, we're choosing our instance type. I'm gonna go with the T3 micro. Of course, it's going to tell me that that I can't that it's going to tell me that it's not in free tier, which I already know. So we're going to select our VPC, which is VPC 1. We're going to select our subnet 2 instead of subnet 1. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to basically put in our same script like we had before. I basically took it down. I typed it out in the previous video. If you want to see me type it completely out, please check it out. Please check out the previous video. But I'm just going to try to make a change to it because what I want to do, I want to have it so that this instance, what happens with it, I'm going to have it so it gives its host name in this one. So I want to make sure that the host name is added as well to this to its index.html file so we could differentiate the two. So let's go ahead and click our storage. Click next. We're going to name this one. The other one was named EC2. EC2. We're going to do this. We're going to call this one Lab 1. And I'm going to put -2. -2. We already have another. We have another EC2 with similar name, so we're going like I said, we're going to try to differentiate the two. Select our security groups. Instead of creating a new one, we're creating an existing one, and we're going to select the security group that we created in the previous video. Click launch. If you're going to launch, once again it's telling me that the T3 micro is not in free tier, and also it's telling me that the security group is open to the world, which I understand. We know that. We went over why we're doing this because this is just a lab. They're not going to be around very long. And we'll go ahead and click launch. And then when we go ahead, we want to make sure that we select our existing key pair. We don't want to create a new one. We want to use our existing key pair. Well, in my case, I'm using my existing key pair, which is our AWS Lab 1. And we're going to launch the instance. All right, so if we click view instances, you see in this account, we see that now we have our instance being provisioned. So what we're going to do, I want to change the bottom instance to EC2-1. So how you do that, you click on it, you go to tags, and you go to here where it says tags, you go to manage tags, and just basically add a -1. And also what I'm going to do inside this machine, inside of EC2-1, this is where I always, since I have multiple machines, always use multi-putty. And always use multi-putty because especially I'm labbing because I have a lot of lab instances. So what we're going to do, we're going to basically set up I think one of these is Amazon, I believe. This one is. Well, I just select and do a new one. It doesn't matter. Because I pretty much lose sight of which one of these are labs, which ones are labs and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and select our lab 1, our lab 1 key pair. Now what we want to go back to the environment, and we want to select our EC2. And this is why we went ahead and we basically created our environment the way that we did. I'm gonna call this EC2 lab -1. And I'm going to basically call this EC2 user. and I'm going to use SSH. All right, so, and I'm going to duplicate this because, well, it says it was denied. So I guess I got to create it again. All right, so we're going to just create it again. We're going to do the same thing with our other one. This was not ready yet. Nope, still not ready. So we're going to go here, add this here, SSH, display name, we're going to call this EC2, what is it, lab-2, and EC2-user. So what I do, so now we have both our EC2 instances set up and ready to go. So all we got to do, if we need to go into EC2.1, we just select this one, click connect, and we're in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically add, I'm going to do host name, and I want to add to the var www HTML directory index.html. I want to add the host name. Don't have permissions. Why don't I? Because I didn't do sudo. And if you want to, and whoa, I don't have sudo permissions. That's weird. Let's go ahead and check. So let's elevate ourselves to root. I'm surprised that sudo did not work. That's a strange enigma. So we just elevate ourselves to root, and we're going to go ahead and run it. That's one way to get around it. So pretty much now, if we were to go back and check our EC2, now if we refresh, we get our EC2 IP address. This would be the private IP address, but we get the DNS name pretty much. The DNS name with the private IP address. All right, so let's go ahead and check one more time. And there you go. We have both our instances set up. If we go into EC2 instance 2, open up in a new browser. And once again, just like the other one, just get rid of this little S here, because we do not have 443 open up to the world. So now, boom, we know that Apache is running fine and that everything's good with these two EC2 instances. All right, so in the next video, we're going to cover how to set up our load balancer and get these EC2 instances connected to our load balancer, and then we're going to be able to balance traffic. We're going to be able to try to balance traffic between the two. All right, so so far, if you like this video series, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos if you're looking at this on YouTube. And also, please, if you want to see, if you feel like there's any way I could correct my way of teaching or doing tutorials, please let me know in the comments below. I'm open to hearing people's opinions about how I'm going over these videos or doing these videos. All right, so if you want, and also I want to thank everyone who has been watching this series all the way up to this point. I really appreciate the support. And other than that, I thank you guys for checking out this video. I will see you in the next one. All right, peace.